Alright, I'm gonna be listing every Murder Drones characters and ranking them based off of how well I can, or cannot, beat them in a fight. First, we gotta lay down some ground rules though. Number 1, we're gonna assume that the drones have similar strength to a human, because we saw Uzi in episode 2 bend a wrench with her bare hands, so we're just gonna assume that drones have the same strength as a regular human, just to make it a bit fair. Number 2, we're gonna ignore regeneration. And number 3, we're gonna assume that drones with the absolute solver cannot pick me up directly. Also, with the rankings, anything that's above 5 out of 10, I'm likely to win. Anything that is below 5 out of 10, I'm likely to lose. And anything that's like perfectly 5 out of 10, it's like a tie, I'd say. Alright, starting off, we got the Mansion Trio. Butler N, Maid V, and Maid J. Now, worker drones are like really short, they're like 4 feet tall. Also, they're not that heavy because we see Tessa, who's like a teenager, easily pick up N by the head and swing him around. So, they're not even that heavy, and they're like 4 feet tall. So, clearly this is an easy win for me. I can literally just pick them up and just 8 out of 10, low diff. Alright, next up is N, like regular disassembly drone N. He's got like blade wings, he can fly, he's got machine guns, laser guns, chainsaws, all sorts of stuff. However, he's also super nice and also likes dogs. Problem is, I'm a cat person and I don't got dogs. So, what I do is I go to my neighbor's house, lead him to my neighbor's house, and my neighbor has dogs, and he'll be all like, oh, look at the cute dogs, and while he's distracted by the dogs, I'll cut his head off with the power tools, and then just remove his core while he's like incapacitated due to his head being removed. Boom. Easy. Ah! 7 out of 10, mid-diff. Alright, next is Jay. This will be super easy. Before she kills me, all I gotta do is just say that I have like a ton of stocks invested into JC Jensen. So then she'll start monologuing about like how cool JC Jensen is and how like the stock market is doing well and all that. And while she's like yapping, I'll just pull out a pen and just, go John Wick mode on her. 9 out of 10, low diff, absolutely easy. Eldritch J is probably the first challenge in this video, and it definitely shows because, look at it. It's absolutely terrifying. This centipede monster amalgamation thing, actually like nightmare fuel. In terms of psychological damage, I don't think I could ever recover. However, it doesn't really have any projectile attacks. It only has like claws and scythes, but since it has holograms, it could like trick me into like getting hit by a claw, and then I could die. However, in episode 2, we did see it die to an explosion, so I feel like my best bet at defeating it would be like getting a bunch of fireworks and just throwing fireworks at it. But even then, I don't think that would be strong enough to defeat it because Uzi's railgun explodes, and that's like a really big explosion. So yeah, I don't know if fireworks would be enough to defeat it. 1 out of 10, very high difficulty. Alright, so we got V, and unlike J or N, she doesn't really have a clear weakness. So what I do is I pull up to Home Depot or Best Buy or wherever they sell a UV flashlight or a UV lamp, right? And those UV rays will essentially simulate sunlight, right? And we know that disassembly drones burn in the sunlight. So I'll just buy a UV flashlight and just pray to God that if I point it at her, she'll get too afraid or the pain will be too much for her to properly shoot her missiles or machine guns or lasers at me. But that pretty much relies entirely on luck, and it's more likely that she'll just blind fire a missile or a laser while she's getting burned by the UV lamp. So I don't know if I can beat this one. 2 out of 10, very high difficulty. Uzi before she gets the absolute solver. Now this one might be a bit difficult because she has her railgun, but I could just like run in a zigzag line and hope she like misfires and misses me, and that thing takes like 2 days to like reload, so I could easily like run in a zigzag line and just pray she misses me. And if she does, then since once again worker drones are like 4 feet tall and Uzi is especially short, I can just 7 out of 10, low to mid difficulty. Now Uzi with the absolute solver, that's a completely different story. She can like literally shoot black holes at me and probably kill me instantly. I don't know how I can defend against that. So yeah, 1 out of 10, impossible difficulty. Now we got pre-solver doll in episode 1 before her parents died and she got the absolute solver. She's literally a normal worker drone in this, so yeah, I can just... Eight out of 10, low diff, easy. Doll with the absolute solver is a completely different story. Unlike N and J, where I could like negotiate and like attempt to trick them, I can't do that for Doll, and even if I give myself like multiple days worth of prep time, I still don't think a couple days of like Duolingo lessons is gonna help me like be able to communicate with her. So I don't know how I can negotiate with her or attempt to trick her. Plus, she can teleport around, and there's literally no stopping that, so she could just teleport behind me and just stab me. And the only way to stop that is doing what Uzi did in episode 8 and just try to, like, get lucky and predict her teleports and somehow get her to, like, you know, teleport, like, into my hand, like, clipped into my hand, so then I can, like, rip her core out. But that's, like, super unlikely of happening, so... yeah, I might be cooked on this one. 2 out of 10, very hard difficulty. I'm probably gonna lose. Ghost Doll is a weird one because we don't know what she is or what her deal is. And the fact that Uzi now has Doll's consciousness inside her, and also that Yeva's body is missing, combined with the fact that, you know, a weird ghost is running around, I don't know, something fishy's going on that I'm not sure I like.
I fear no man, but that thing... it scares me.
And also, since she's a robot, I don't think the standard methods of ghost killing will work. So, question mark out of 10, unknown difficulty. Yeah, I don't know. Khan is a tough one because unlike regular worker drones, Khan could probably instantly build a bunker door in front of me like he's playing ranked solos. I feel like the only way I could defeat him is to ask the age-old question, which are there more of, doors or wheels? Now, as a door expert, he would obviously begin to ponder the question and begin to think about, how many doors are there and how many wheels are there? While he's thinking about the question and he's distracted, I just, hit him with a baseball bat or something. Easy. I would say he's a bit harder than the average worker drone, though, so 7 out of 10, low to mid difficulty. Now we got Nori, specifically non-crab Nori or Nori in her prime. She can't teleport or duplicate objects like Doll and Yeva can, so I feel like that would make it a lot easier, so I could probably land a couple hits on her. However, yeah, she could just throw stuff at me and that would probably hurt a lot unless I keep dodging. I mean, she died, well not died, but she lost her main body due to nanite acid, and I don't have industrial strength acid on me, so yeah, this one might be tough. I feel like if I manage to dodge like consistently, I might be able to win. 3 out of 10, high difficulty. Now we got Crab Nori. She has a pickaxe on hand, so I feel like she's a lot more deadly, and also since she's a crab core thing, she's a lot harder to hit because, she's like crawling around. And yeah, a single hit from that pickaxe at high speeds, it's pretty much game over for me. However, she is, a little crab meatball thing, so it's like, I feel like one good like stomp or hit with like a baseball bat will probably take her out. I'd say 3.5, maybe 4 out of 10, medium to high difficulty. Yeva. Oof, okay. She has the exact same abilities as Doll, and I can't communicate with her because, she speaks Russian. I feel like she'd be way harder because she's had her solver powers for longer, so she's had time to, like, train them. So I'd say she's probably way harder than Doll, or at least a little harder than Doll, so 1 to 1.5 out of 10, very hard difficulty. Probably even harder than Doll.
I ever tell you about the time Keith tried to deep-fry a turkey? Third-degree burns over 90% of his body.
Now we got Alice. Oof, okay. She might actually be tough to beat because she has like a makeshift tail that she uses, and that thing has like a whole kitchen knife on the end of it, which that's like really dangerous. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna dodge that because she could like whip that around, and she has like bone saws and other stuff on her. Like, I don't know. The best way I think I could probably defeat her is, yeah, just hand-to-hand combat, probably with a bat or like a knife or something. I don't know what the best way to go about doing it would be, but I mean, I could use a magnet to like maybe like stun her, but other than that, I don't know. That might be tough. I'm kind of on a toss-up on this one. I'd say probably 5 out of 10, mid difficulty. It would probably be a tie. I'm not exactly sure.
Goo goo gaga. I'm a baby. Wah, wah. I want milky milk.
Bo, I think, would be harder than Alice because he has like the weird modified disassembly drone arm. So he could use like a machine gun or like a sword thing or like a laser gun. Plus also he has like the weird spider legs, so he can like crawl around and run all over the place like crazy, and he would be impossible to like hit. So I would say that would be like really hard to deal. Like that would be really annoying to fight with, and he could just like crawl up on the ceiling and like avoid me. So I'd say like 3 out of 10 high difficulty.
Alan, this species of Variformin's been extinct since the Cretaceous period. I mean, this thing is about this thing. What?
Now we have the greatest character in the entirety of Murder Drones, Sparky, man. Sparky is the best, man. Like, who doesn't like Sparky? He's a dinosaur. He's got a cowboy hat. Like, come on. He's just cool.
That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Anyways, the Sentinels and obviously Sparky are roughly equivalent in size to the dinosaur known as Utahraptor, which was about 6 to 7 meters long and weighed about 500 kilograms. Obviously, if it were a Utahraptor, I can't fight it because, you know, that's huge and that's really heavy and they have, you know, big claws. But it's made even worse by the fact that the Sentinels are made of metal, meaning that's going to hurt more and my hits are going to do less damage. Plus, they do have like the weird flashbang attack, but that's probably not going to do anything because I'm not a robot. But still, I'm fighting a 6 meter long, 500 kilogram metal dinosaur. There's no way I'm going to win against that. Unless I have like wire cutters and I somehow manage to like cut its wires on its neck or whatever. But I doubt that'll really do anything and it'll probably just claw me to death. 2 out of 10. Very high difficulty.
Stand back! This is a citizen's murder.
Oh.
That dress!
You hold that gun less cool this instant, Missy!
Tessa, remember, you didn't have to.
Boom. Headshot.
We got regular Tessa from episode 5. I mean, she's just a human girl, so it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, we never really have seen Tessa, like, properly throw hands, and she also has, like, a gun. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd say 6 out of 10, medium difficulty. I mean, depending on, like, if she decides to use her gun or sword or whatever. Now we got Astronaut Tessa, and yes, I know she's technically not actually Tessa, but we're going under the assumption that she is. Yeah, she'd probably be a bit harder to fight than a regular Tessa, because, you know, she'd be stronger and older and, you know how to wield a gun and a sword better, so I'd say 5 out of 10, medium difficulty.
Shut your
So trusted you. I thought I could too. So why in bloody hell does Makarov know you?
Now we got Brayden. Now, do not under any circumstances, do not underestimate this guy, because this guy is basically a firebender in Murder Drones, because he can pretty much set his head on fire at will. So he automatically is like really hard to fight. I mean, like, have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? Like, firebenders are scary. Like, and he's a robot. Like, I don't know, man. Like, unless like I could put out his fire, but he could just reignite it. So I don't know, man. I'd say like 0 out of 10. Like, I can't beat this guy. It's just impossible. 0 out of 10. Impossible difficulty. Maid Sin, or Sin in Episode 5, may seem impossible, but I have a plan. I get an F-22 Raptor fighter jet. Don't ask how I'm gonna get it, just let me cook. And I do crazy acrobatic maneuvers. How am I gonna pilot the thing? I don't know. I play enough War Thunder and Ace Combat, so I'll probably figure it out by myself. And she'll be so impressed by my acrobatic maneuvers that she won't notice the AIM-9X missile heading straight for her cranium. However, yeah, in all seriousness, though, it probably won't work, so 0 out of 10 impossible difficulty, and if it does somehow work, 1 out of 10 nearly impossible difficulty. However, a certain someone is making a real-life version of Maid Sin, and since that real-life version doesn't have any powers, if we're taking that into account, then 10 out of 10, literally free win. No. Alright, that's all the characters I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to go over every background character because some of them aren't really that significant to talk about. But yeah.